My name is Aarti Randive and a warm welcome to the next session of the book club. Well, first of all, sorry for not uploading a video for a very long time. The lockdown has not particularly been easy, but here I am with yet another interesting book. The book I'm going to read from today is The Encyclopedia of Bach Flower Therapy by, I hope I pronounced this right, Mechtel Scheffer. That's what the book looks like. So like what I usually do, I am going to read a little about the author. Mechtel Scheffer's groundbreaking bestseller, Bach Flower Therapy, Theory and Practice, revolutionized the science of Bach flower remedies. Now, for practitioner, student and patient alike, she offers the Encyclopedia of Bach Flower Therapy, the most comprehensive and up-to-date reference available on this gentle, effective therapy. Here she draws on and integrates her extensive experience in research to present the most complete profiles available for all the Bach flowers, and for the first time in English, 450 newly developed combination recommendations or building blocks to aid in creating individualized Bach flower mixtures. In addition, the Encyclopedia of Bach Flower Therapy contains suggestions and advice on how to hold a Bach flower diagnostic interview, 127 comparisons to refer to when choosing between two possible recommendations for treatment, a double questionnaire and final choice checklist, extensive dosage and treatment guidelines, comprehensive information on the specific treatment needs of children, adolescents, women, the elderly, and terminally ill and animals, a topic index and answers to frequently asked questions. I guess this will help anyone make a choice if they want to buy this book. Mechtel Scheffer is an internationally known pioneer in Bach flower therapy who has written many of the most authoritative books on the subject throughout her 25 years of research and study. She has represented England's Edward Bach Center in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, is active in the Bach Foundation network, and is the founder of the Institutes of Bach Flower Therapy Research and Education in Hamburg, Vienna, Zurich. Currently, the focus of her activity is the integration of Bach flower therapy with other preventive healthcare systems. And I have randomly opened a page which led me to Heather. I'm going to show you the picture she has put up because it's very, very pretty. Well, the Heather, like the personality, are very loud flowers, aren't they? So she says, Heather, the identity flower, from needy child to understanding adult. Those who are always seeking the companionship of anyone who may be available, as they find it necessary to discuss their own affairs with others, no matter whom it may be. They are very unhappy if they have to be alone for any length of time. Heather refers to the soul's potential for self-identification and empathy. If you're in the negative Heather state, all your thoughts and feelings revolve exclusively around yourself and your problems. This state can be seen in extroverted and introverted forms. As is true with most Bach flower states, at one time or another, almost everyone will experience the negative Heather state. Well, interesting, because while I was just reading that, I thought, there are times I feel like a Heather too. A chronic extroverted negative Heather state makes for a good cartoon character. One phrase says it all. He came, he saw, and he kept talking. Others politely call people of this type exhausting because they absorb your attention by talking ceaselessly. Well, along with exhaustion because they absorb your attention, I think they also draw in or take away your energy. In extreme cases, they possess an almost compulsive need to present themselves. They always need an audience to hear about their terribly important problems or great things they have done. People in the negative Heather state have the irresistible urge to upload everything that happens to them by telling others about it. Well, that could even translate to today's digital state where a Heather might feel the constant need of uploading everything that's happening to them. You know, you have these people who have to kind of upload whether they've gone and met somebody, to whether they're having a bad day, to whether they're having a bad hair day. During a party, it takes them less than 5 minutes to monopolize the conversation by cleverly bringing the topic around to themselves. Strong methods are necessary to escape their intense desire to communicate. People in the negative Heather state won't easily let go once they've trapped you. They will come oppressively close to you physically when they talk to you, following you as you back away. If necessary, they will even hold on to your sleeve to detain you. Two batch flower characters are particularly susceptible to the negative Heather type. Centauri often lack the willpower to escape from such an intense influence, and Mimulus can lack the courage to get up and walk away. Extroverted Heather types, in the extreme case, won't even care whom they talk to as long as they're able to talk. They will offer their entire medical history down to the last detail to a complete stranger in the doctor's waiting room. If there's no one they can talk to at home, they'll talk on the phone for hours with most of their sentences starting with I. The I is the focus of all thought and aspirations in the negative Heather state. It never occurs to someone in this state to take any real interest in the needs of another person. How does such an extreme form of self-centeredness come about? A batch expert from England aptly described those in the negative Heather state as needy children, dependent upon the attentions and affection of those around them. Often it's found that people who need Heather were frequently left alone as babies. From earliest childhood, they were emotionally underfed. Lacking the necessary affection and appreciation, these young egos had to fend for themselves emotionally and learn to constantly work to draw attention to themselves. This unconscious behavior pattern is carried into adulthood. The incessant talk of a negative Heather type is really a desperate attempt by personality to confirm that it actually exists. If it can hear itself and others can hear it, it therefore must exist. In the first stages of ego development, children usually go through a temporary negative Heather phase and exuberantly tell you all about themselves, but sometimes this pattern is carried into adulthood, together with a tendency to exaggerate emotions and make mountains out of molehills. What could be worse for a needy child than to be left alone by those who should care for him and provide him with attention and energy? Because the adult in the negative Heather state desperately seeks the energy and focus of others, being deserted is the worst thing that can happen. The sad thing is that others rarely recognize this emotional child in another person. This is particularly so because many negative Heather types work hard not to appear needy by acting purposefully and assertively. As a result, their intense efforts to gain contact and acknowledgement usually achieve the exact opposite. They come on so strong that the people whom they approach automatically shrink away from them. Actually true, isn't it? Well, I was thinking of a Heather in my life who talks so confidently, is so knowledgeable, and will make sure he does anything and everything to grab your attention. And like it was described, might even hold on to your hand and say, but listen, I'm talking. And you wouldn't really think about him as needy or someone who's a needy child. But to think about it could be, right? To have been left alone in childhood, not being cared for by the same people who are supposed to look after you constantly. The affection that they're longing for is being repelled by their own behavior, and thus, despite having an audience, they remain lonely inside. In the negative Heather state, the error results from the personality completely turning away from its higher self and the greater unity. It's unable to recognize that there's no need to take by force what will come naturally if you allow yourself to be guided by the laws of higher self. People in the negative Heather state must develop from being needy children who want only to receive to being adults who are also able to give. Once they turn their attention and energies away from themselves and towards the world around them and the greater whole, cosmic laws will come into operation and energy, attention, affection and love will be returned to them many times over. But unfortunately in a Heather state you don't really realize that. The negative Heather state can also take an introverted form. People in this behavior pattern may not only talk a great deal, but their excessive concern over their own affairs takes total control over their attention to life in general. There are times when all of us may have a normal, healthy experience of the negative Heather state. A problem may create such concern that we simply have to let off steam and talk to someone about it. I recently had an episode. Or we may become seriously ill and depend upon others to take care of all our needs. People in the positive Heather state are found to be good listeners. They develop great empathy and, if the situation demands it, are able to be wholly attentive to another person. They create an atmosphere of trust and confidence in which others feel completely at ease. Those who have chosen careers as social workers who care for the mentally challenged and who help the needy are all representatives of the positive Heather potential. People who wish to develop the positive Heather potential need to realize that other people are not emotional gas stations existing to solely fill an emotionally empty tank. Everyone has their own problems and needs. Practice listening to others and try and be patient. Become active on behalf of others, perhaps volunteering a few hours each week at a nursing home, offering youth counseling, or working with the disadvantaged. That's interesting. In fact, there was a Heather that I was treating once, or helping with remedies, and she had so much energy in her and so much neediness that I could see, where she constantly wanted to be heard and wanted to spend time with people. And when I asked her what's that one need if she has to give importance to, talking or being with others, and she said, well, being with people would be more important than talking to them and telling them about me. And I had suggested, why don't you start working with an NGO? Try and go to people who need people around, perhaps like an old age home. And honestly, I mean, that just came like an intuitive thought. And she did that. And in 2 weeks, she returned to me and she said, Aarti, you know what? It really worked. Because when I went there, I realized that there are so many people out there who need me more than I need them. And I spend time looking after them, just reading books to them and listening to their stories. And she says that helps the emptiness within. And I saw that the Heather remedy also was working, where she had started to be a good listener. So I guess it's quite interesting that she writes that, be active on behalf of others and perhaps volunteer to such places. Heather key symptoms. These are self-centeredness, preoccupation with your own troubles and affairs, and a constant need for an audience, much like a needy child. Behavior pattern in the block state. Your thoughts are entirely centered on personal problems. You take yourself too seriously. You are driven to talk to everyone about yourself. You are unable to be alone, feeling somehow lost when you're solitary. You are unable to be alone. You tend to exaggerate emotionally, making mountains out of molehills. You find it difficult to listen to others. You are absorbed completely in yourself and therefore have no awareness that others have concerns too. You try to appear stronger and more competent than you really are, and as a result, you don't get the sympathy you want. You take over social conversations and immediately turn them to yourself. You trap others by cornering them or holding on to their sleeves when you want to make a point. You were emotionally neglected or not accepted as a child, and as a result still feel undernourished and in need of recognition from those around you. Children regress into infantile behavior. Even if only one or two of these patterns precisely match your present situation, you need Heather. The positive potential. You know your inner guidance cares for you. You know you'll receive everything necessary for your personal development. You're able to listen to the concern of others. You're a sympathetic adult with a great capacity for empathy. You create an atmosphere of trust and comfort. The empowering statements, and this is what I like about the book, the empowering statements that she adds after every remedy. I feel safe, I receive all that I need, and I nurture others. Well, that was a quick one, but an interesting one. Luckily, because of this book club, I am getting to read a lot of books. Tell me, what do you feel? Are you enjoying this? Is there something else you would want me to read? I highly recommend this book. So if you are one of those who is learning about the remedies, is wanting to know a little more in detail about each remedy, and if you have read the basic books which tell you about each remedy, the encyclopedia is a good one to have. So please stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel. You can log in to see more videos. If you subscribe and hit the bell icon, you'll also get noted when I post more videos. So please give me your feedback, and thank you so much for tuning in. Cheerio.